God fucking damn it. I hate when this computer does this. It just loses my thing and I can't see shit. 5. And then 7. There we go. Hey guys, Batmites here. Welcome to Truck and Talk Fridays. I've been not streaming this whole week, as you've noticed. Let me just start driving out. Start explaining some stuff. Welcome to Truck and Talk Fridays, where I usually talk about stuff. I'm gonna be talking about stuff mostly. If there's people coming in, thank you for coming in. It's gonna be a short stream. Gonna be an hour. I'm still a little bit tired, but took a nap. Feel nice. Had coffee to stay awake for tonight, just for whatever I want to do. Unless if I just want to go to bed, I mean I could do that too. I think I'm still stranded in the middle of nowhere. Okay, there we go. Those are my fingers. Also, for those who are wondering, I've been actually playing this game for a little bit, and I actually started driving back to Nevada. But I'm gonna be going back to Oregon. We're still gonna be exploring Oregon. Maybe if I find a route to Lakeview, I can go that way. There's a lot of things we could do here, actually. But anyways, welcome to Truck and Talk Fridays, where I usually be updating and stuff, and that's what I'm going to be actually just doing for the whole stream. Probably going to finish driving this load, maybe take one or two more, we'll see. I don't know how long I'll be going for Truck and Talk. Yeah, I haven't been streaming ever since the last Truck and Talk Thursday. And there's a reason. I've explained it before for those who are watching the VODs. If you're watching even the old VODs, you notice that I finally have a job. It's temporary, but it'll give me some experience. Wow, truck. Okay, thanks. I know I just pulled to the side and tried to pull, but I didn't know you were right behind me doing that. What the fuck? Okay. But I have a job. More specifically, I work at whatchamacallit. I actually work at the voting agency, the voting office. So here in America, we are going through our midterm elections. So that happens every 4 years, 2 years after the presidential election. So it's always every 2 years. Always happens 2 years after a presidential election. And usually this is where we vote a few things. I think for California this time around, we're voting for our new governor. So goodbye Jerry Brown, for those who doesn't like Jerry Brown, or at least for those in California. Voting for our governor, our lieutenant governor, which I usually don't know what they do specifically. I should know politics, but I don't. Senate, and some propositions that are propositions that are popping up for the thing. So I think the big ones are property taxes, dialysis. Actually, I heard a lot of things for dialysis, and daylight savings, which I'm a little bit oofing about. I really should stop using the word oof. 2019 resolution, guys. Stop using the word oof. That's not a good word to use. You could, especially if it's used literally for any bad context or oh shit context. It's not rather than saying damn or damn it or shit or whatever, just say oof. It's I think I heard oof long enough. But anyways, so yeah, so yeah, that's the midterm election, at least for California. Could be different for your state if you're in America, but definitely realizing this now. So actually, let me go back to. Well, let me just say this quick. For those who haven't registered to vote, please go register to vote if it hasn't expired yet. And if you are registered to vote, please vote accordingly. Just so you can get your vote count, because there's many ways that sometimes your vote just won't count. Any case, I'll get through that later, but I could probably explain that through my work week. So what I do, and I think about another 11, 10 or so people in my team, what we do is we pretty much work with the ballots from delivery coming for those who are voting by mail. Trying to sort them out, filter them out, so it'll be easy to open and it'll be easy to sort, read, and process your vote, because that's how we make your vote count. If we can actually process your ballot, and you did or process your ballot by mail, then your vote will be counted. So that's what we do. We try to get them all organized and such, so every vote will count when we start processing those things in upcoming weeks. Um, I know that's. I don't think that's NDA. Um, I've heard from my coordinator and supervisor saying that it's all public knowledge. You are willing to come in and actually see how the voting process works. At least with my county, I'm not too sure with others. You might want to check up on your registrar of voters, or whatever, not company, whatever organization that actually does the voting process. In your state or city or whatever. Usually county. But anyways, we go through that and try to grab every vote as we can. Mostly that are ours. We actually do sometimes get voting ballots from other places, and we would want to ship them out ASAP. So that means the appropriate appropriate place will actually get their vote, and then that person can get their vote counted for. It's a very I'm not gonna try. Please park it for me, please. I don't wanna do this. There we go. Thank you. Okay, do you got a good one? We got some lake views, but we're going around the other way. Yay. Okay. I think I'm gonna take this one. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. But we're gonna go around. We're not going that way. We're going that way. Is there like, yeah? Wow, 5-minute difference. I already saw that way. You're out, man. So shit. I hope I can get out. Please let me get out of this lot. I don't want to be stuck in this lot. I'm gonna be stuck in this lot. Fuck you. Okay. So we go through that, we try to process it because we want everyone's vote to count, and I've heard that this election is going to be very, very jam-packed. I heard that voter turnout has been increased like a lot ever since that 2016 election. So that's making everyone, and I mean everyone, run into the polls. Not really running to the polls. We don't know that yet till election day. But it's getting everyone to register to vote, which is honestly amazing. Honestly, it's amazing to hear. Considering the voter turnout, voter turnout is usually pretty low. Like I know I hear this in past elections, like, there's not that much people voting, all that stuff, and it's kind of it's kind of sad not hearing like the registration be like not as up as it could be. But I've been hearing from many of the coworkers, even from our coordinator for our county, saying that it's shot up. Phone lines are coming in to wonder if they are registered to vote. We're getting ballots every day. Even for just like the past food. Ooh, I took that turn very badly. Wow, that's terrible. Oh my god, I'm turning the wrong way, Daryl. Oh god, I'm 6th gear right now. I'm gonna just scrape it. No, not the wheel that way. Go straight. Why is it gated like right there? Okay, wait. We're gonna fix this. Also, sorry I sound a little bit quiet. I just sound like this right now. I'm trying to explain shit. Usually when I talk about myself, it's like, yeah. Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go around. Why the hell do you have me going on the other side? What the shit? Oh, please. Oh, Popo, please don't. I need to go through. Come on. We can make it. I don't know what's with me in the country. I might be by actually my coworkers. Actually, I have a lot of people that has that sort of accent and way they talk, and it's starting to rub on me because I always rub on I always get the people that like talk in accents. It's just simply, it's like, oh, I'm getting used to it. Oh no, I hear it. for like the most part with my coworkers, and it's just like, oh, please don't get into it. Oh no, you're into it. Damn it. But yeah, that's what we do. I know first day coming in, I had to finalize my paper. I had to like sign like I think one or two papers, and then we just waited for a training hearing from our coordinator, just to tell us what the job is and what we do. From there, I actually met up with the rest of really the team I'm gonna be working with, which are all in for the same temporary position, which they say it's gonna last at the latest the first week of December, but she is assuming that if all things are done right, we might end right before Thanksgiving. So that gives us about a month and a half to almost 2 months working. So that's actually not that bad. But from there, I actually started meeting up with my coworkers. Honestly, they're the nicest people to talk to. They're actually pretty, well, for the most part, they're vocal in their own rights, in their own ways. Like, we usually talking about experiences. Oddly enough, we all have like a story to tell, of some sort. And it's just interesting to hear these stories from these people, like where they come from, what background they have, and all that stuff. And that's how we managed just to connect. And even after the first 5 days, we haven't pulled our hairs off at each other just yet. I say just yet because I heard that shit's gonna be hitting the fan soon when all the ballots are gonna start coming in the next coming weeks, and where we have to process all that. But so far, I'm liking who I have as on the team. It's fun to talk to them. It's fun to hear their stories. It makes time pass by. So for the first day, there's a reason why I say make the time pass by. I mean, it's a little bit monotonous, and sometimes we might not be doing things. So I realize I'm just jumping in and out right here, right now. But so first day, we did our had to sign papers, a few more papers, and we did our training. Just pretty much just a talk with the coordinator, saying what we're supposed to do, what are they looking for, and what you should stride on, especially when coming to a tense event like the midterm election. You may not think that okay, so I guess for those who actually do vote, or kind of vote, I don't know, I guess more or less participate in politics, some people might think that midterm election is not as important. At least for us, at least for California, you're voting in for a lot of very important things that's coming up. And what is required for us to just be on our heel and get everything right. So every vote counts. Really, that's pretty much the end thing. We want everything processed the right way to have every vote count for this midterm election. And then we'll just have pretty much more or less like an hour meeting and a pep talk, really, of just this is what it's all about. It could be stress inducing, it could pull your hair off, but it's more or less all for the common good for the people, because we're in there to actually get their ballot in. Even though if you send those ballots in, say either if you're voting by mail or if you're going to the poll on election day, we still got to process them, and that's how we know your vote counts. Because there's I've actually heard that there's some special exceptions on how sometimes a vote might not count because there's some information missing and all that stuff, and we want to get that information from you guys and all that stuff so it can count. It's a very big thing, and I hear like everyone in the office, at least towards the later in the week, just like running around trying to get everyone in and all that stuff. Um, I'm passing. Hey, look, let's go in. Since I'm going this way, and I'll be going. Oh no, it's a way station, isn't it? No, that's not a way station. Cool. Okay. We'll just keep it at 67, even though its speed limit's 80, even though that speed limit doesn't exist in Nevada. Right, I'm in Nevada. Cart, please, come on. I wanna pass. There we go. So yeah. So after that talk, we went through. We just our supervisors decided to, like, well, okay, not decided to, our supervisors has assigned some tasks for us, which is, at first we go through the vote by mail. So the process goes is one or two people has to pick up a package of these ballots, out by the mail room, and then we just bring it in. We look through it. We filter them out. We try to check what's missing on the thing, because for those who are actually voting by mail, you have actually a few things that you need to do in order for it to be processed. If you're missing those things, they're gonna come and call you and say, "Hey, you're missing these things. Can you do a favor?" And that could take some time. That will like slow down the process of your vote being counted. So we do that. We do the checks. Try to see if they have all the requirements met. I'm not going to say what, because it's different from county to county, state to state. But there's a certain things that the person who's voting that has to meet in their vote by mail in order for us to put it in and be ready to process. So we check those, and it's a lot to check. They're like, we get, like, I'd say the most we've gotten quite a lot of stacks of these. Sometimes we might not get a lot because mail sometimes doesn't come around at the right time. Maybe we're like a little bit early to pick it up or anything like that. So we get those in, we filter them out, and with a team of 11, we managed to finish like a decent sized stack, which looked like it might take like maybe a whole day for one person. I'm not gonna say a number because I feel like that might be a little NDA. Not a little NDA, like a little bit of a secret. I need to keep some things vague, because for purpose of security and whatnot. These numbers will be out probably after election. You'll know how many has gone through, but I don't think I have the right to say that. But we go through them, and yeah, with a team of 11, we managed to hit that in about an hour and a half, which was pretty good actually. We looked through it, try to really do a quality check on it. Like, for this, you really gotta look at everything. If you don't look at everything, it might go through the process, it might go through a machine, it might reject it, and that would create a bit of havoc to not only to you guys who are voting and probably didn't get their vote counted, but to everyone in the department. Be like, well, what happened here? Like, we don't want that to happen. So we have to like really look at it, take our time. Like, the big emphasis in this altogether when doing our job is to take our time, because everything counts. We want to make every vote count, so that means we have to check everything to make it count. But we managed to do that, and then we had to filter out a bunch of, and there's different kinds of actually ballots. Some are here, some are out of state, some are in other places. So we get ballots everywhere, because there's some people that temporarily live somewhere else, but their home address and everything, they still say they live within the county, so they vote for us. They vote in our county. So we get mail everywhere. And it's surprising to see like where the places are. I mean, they're like, some of them are out of the county, some of them out of the state, and some of them are even out of this country, which is amazing to actually see. So we filter through that, and then we had another package coming in, and we had to filter through that as well. And there's a lot of like filtering and sorting that we have to do manually. Sure, you might think, why don't you just have a machine? Well, some of these, sometimes the machine might not understand what's being processed. They're only like, usually machines are actually just looking for one thing. They just want to compute one thing. Usually that's what machines do. At least with a human, when you give it some human power, like humans can make decisions saying like, oh, this is missing this, and this. Well, the machine's like, I don't think it has that kind of. Honestly, I'm seeing this now. Machines doesn't necessarily have that kind of power to find things wrong physically, because we are working with physical stuff. We're not working with digital things. At least with digital things, the computer could just do it probably very fast. It could like just read it, run it, and then fix those problems. When it comes to physical things, and you try to have a computer to do it, you can only have the computer do it at least only like one thing at a time, and that's pretty slow in a big context. Like we're talking about the whole county, which some people, for county there's like counties meaning their cities, towns, and everything that counts for everyone. You may have a small county that only has to count a few thousand votes. There's like or say like San Francisco or LA, you've got to count like up to millions and millions of votes. So not San Francisco, but more like LA, we have to count a lot of votes. That could take a lot of time if a machine can only do one thing at a time, checking one thing at a time. And plus, you still need a human to actually process that. So it's still in the limitations of human. So rather than having that automated, trying to find and filter and sort out these things, just get a bunch of human hands, pay them some money, and you'll get the result. Like we as a team try to do our best to get it as accurate as possible. Want to put them all in the right piles. Want to put them all in all the right places, so whatever is done is done. Whatever needs to be processed can be processed in according fashion. And through my cord. I'm gonna load up to a different game. Oh, that was embarrassing. Slows down turn. That's a popo. Actually, I was kind of waiting for that to happen. And one thing is, it happened. So yeah, we want to keep it as accurate as possible. So doing that one by one, it takes time. Sure, as a team, it might take an hour, but it's a tedious work to do. But we managed to make it fun. Our team actually tries to make it fun. We try to have a fun time when we go through these, sorting these out. Laugh on a few things, talk about a few things, and just keep us moving when we try to sort this out, because just sitting down looking at mail and try to sort it, it could be tedious, and it'll be very boring very fast when it's quiet. When people start talking about stuff, try to get the people all riled up, try to get them active, it makes the job a lot easier and a lot of fun. But so doing that amongst other things, and just pretty much for this first week, we had just been sorting through a lot of different things: mail, papers, everything. And that's what we're pretty much more or less an assistant to everyone in that whole department. Well, we try to process, sort out, and everything, just so the ones who actually have to do the specific processing, they could do it with ease rather than having them do the monotonous work that we do. It it gives them an ease of mind of be like, okay, this is all we have to do. All we gotta do is just look through this, and they can process it. And they can get their vote. They can get all the things and all the things they needed in. There we go. I can English. So yeah, just pretty much been working on that. And there was actually at one point in time on the first day where we're like working, we're like finished with all the work, and we're coming into our lunch break and realizing, what do we do? Because we've done all the work we can, and there's not much work to do. So in the end, our first day ended up being a half day. Because granted, what they told me on the phone, and apparently they told to the rest of the team, saying that you're going to be working your first day would be a training day. It'll be only a half day, so everything will be easy, and then from there you'll be working full days. But we managed to somehow finish the work in a decent time, and we were let out early. So let out right on our lunch break. Signed off, and then I headed home. Had a nice lunch, which is where I am is actually in the downtown area of my city, which is very boring in the daytime. Realizing it's just a worker city, really, where people go in to work at the courthouse, which is right next door to us, the county offices, which is actually our building. There's a bunch of other departments in there, and many other places. So it's just pretty much people working. And then when it's lunch break, people go on their lunch break, and then after that, it's just then they go back to work. That's really it. I'm not kidding. So it's not a very lively place aside from just seeing people walking, seeing cars go by. But there's not really that much to do. And I was actually a little bit surprised. I remember trying to figure out like what kind of foods I wanted to eat, because I'm a foodie person. I'm definitely a foodie person. I like my food. I like to try different kinds of food and all that stuff. But I was surprised that there wasn't many places to actually get interesting food, and I actually, I want to try like some things that I haven't tried before. But like when I look at it, I'm just like, there's not much to go to. But at least for my first time having lunch out there downtown, it was like one of the places I've been to before, which is a Filipino fusion. I'm Filipino. I like Filipino food, and I've been here before. It's Filipino fusion. They do, it's like American Mexican Filipino fusion. So pretty much any American Mexican food with a Filipino twist. And there was this one that it was like a taco salad, but rather than having like your usual pork, beef, or chicken. This one was, it was pork, but it was cooked cooked in a Filipino way. If you know what sisig is, which is, I want to say sour sizzling pork, like vinegar sizzling pork, or pork sizzling pork in vinegar. I don't know how to explain it, but if you search up SISIG, sisig, you'll see what that is. Well, that's what I got. It was topped up on my taco salad, which is basically you're just using the taco bowl, the taco bowl that's made out of crunchy stuff. The crunchy stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Taco shell, like a hard taco shell, the corn one, in a bowl. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I hope maybe for those people that actually doesn't know what a taco bowl is, at least now I explained it. But it uses the puffy taco shell. Taco, like, in the shape of a bowl. Wow, I'm having a hard time saying this. Have fun watching this. Or whoever's watching this, I hope you guys had a fun time hearing me flubbering up my words. Blubbering up my words. What the fuck, Daryl? But I had that. It was great. And then I ended up taking the bus took the bus going home, which actually wasn't as bad as I thought, interestingly enough. Actually, how the hell did I get home that time? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I know, but no, I actually rode the public bus back home, which is interesting, at least in the city I live in, where services, aside from the very popular bus rapid transit service, apparently a bus comes around every hour. It's so weird. I'm so used to Muni coming at least 15-20 minutes. Here it comes every hour, and it's like, what the heck? So if I miss the bus, I have to wait for another hour. Heck no. So I think the first day, I think if I remember correctly, I had to call my friend and say, hey, pick me up. I don't want to be stuck here for an hour. Can I go home with you? And so they brought me home. So that was great. Second day around, I actually had to report at 8 because work starts at 8 and ends at 5. But we only work for 8 hours. And you might say, 8 to 5, that's only 9 hours. Why are you getting paid for 8? Well, our lunch break lasts for an hour. And amazing, you could do a lot of things in an hour. Sadly, I don't drive to work, so I am only limited to walking distance of things. But having a lunch break for an hour is actually really good. I realize it, because a 30-minute lunch break you can only do so much. With an hour lunch break, you could like walk to the place, eat, and then like go around, look a few things, maybe buy a few things if you need to, and then walk back to work and still be on time to actually start back up working. So we started at 8. I got there at an early time. Oh yeah. Let me explain this before I forget. So for those who doesn't know, my sleep schedule before I started working was I go to sleep around like 2-3 in the morning, and I wake up around like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So with that, trying to adjust myself to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, get prepared, go with my dad and my mom to bring my mom to work, and then having my dad bring me to work after that. Which, thank God, where my mom works and where I work, it's pretty close by. But that's gonna be a bump. Oof. I'm gonna just pull them like this. That works. Ooh, that's some expensive gas. $3.94. What the fuck? So waking up at 5:30 in the morning and try to get prepared to leave by 6:30, and then at least for the first day I didn't start till 9, so I was just there way too early. But just waking up early in general, that's something I had to get used to. And I think on at least coming to Friday, I almost got used to it. Apparently I was really tired right after my mom got off to go to work. I was just like, we just wait there we have my mom's parking lot for about 20 minutes before my dad drops me off. My dad drives me and drops me off at work. I was just very, very tired. I'm just like, and the thing is, I think I got like 7 hours of sleep, and I'm still tired. I'm like, whoa. But we'll get to that. Also, I don't even know what I sound like, so I'm gonna give myself an audio test. I think the volume's fine. I don't have any co-hosts this week, so I don't have to worry too much on them. I just have to worry about if I sound good. So you're gonna be hearing it a bit double. I'm really getting that accent I get from the coworkers I have, because they talk like a southern, and it's really in there. The coworkers I have, because they talk like a southern. Okay, we sound good. I'm quitting Skype so it doesn't ring on me. But okay, I actually have to take another load from the looks of it. I can clear it. I realize I'm still driving with my headlights even at 9 o'clock in the morning. Whoopsies. Clearance. God, this is gonna be terrible. Oh, I'm gonna hit that sign. Oh, I didn't hit that sign. Woohoo! But I think I've got my sleep schedule sleep schedule adjusted, kind of. I actually don't have that much of a hard time waking up that early. It's just I will feel groggy first. But I guess that's how it is. You'll feel groggy first, and then after that, you'll be like, all right, we're awake. And oddly enough, I don't usually drink coffee in the morning, but I managed to stay awake for like a while. It's just usually after lunch I get the slump, and it's like I start slumping and be like, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. And honestly, I can see that from the rest of the people I actually work with. Usually, by the time when I get closer to the end of the day, it'd be like, we're tired, and we're just processing stuff. It's just it's a bit of it's still it's still a mind numbing thing, but and even though we try to make it fun, it takes a toll on you at the very end. And when you get out of work, it'd be like, I just want to take a nap. I want to go to sleep. And that's what I felt like for those past few days. But second day, reported there at 8. Waited a bit, and we did the same thing we did in the first day. And then apparently, we didn't have much to do after that. Once we got the ship with our first shipment, we finished through that, and then we pretty much did nothing for like an hour. To the point of like, yeah, you guys could go early today again because we don't have much to do. But they said, starting the next day on that Tuesday, starting the next day, it might start ramping up. If there wasn't, and oh boy, it did on Wednesday. So rinse and repeat. Actually, rinse and repeat of. So pretty much Tuesday was like basically like Monday, for me. But Wednesday, coming in at work at 8, we waited a bit, but then we now had some stuff to do. We actually had stuff to process, stuff to sort out, just a lot of stuff in general to do, and our whole team just pretty much started working from there to our lunch break. For some, they had to take it. Some took it at 12. I took it. Some people took it at 1. Why the hell am I going in circles? Okay, looks like I'm here. Looks like I'm gonna take up one more short load, and I think we're gonna end the stream there. It's gonna be a short one. I'm gonna try to make it as short as I can, because I'm still kind of tired, guys. Hence why I haven't been streaming. Hence why I haven't been streaming much. I should probably explain why. I realize I haven't explained as to why I haven't been streaming much. I have been tired. Every time I get back, even on my first 2 days, I felt oddly tired because my first day, sure I got home early, but I don't know why. When I got home, I just wanted to go to sleep. Granted, I didn't get home till like 5 because I went with my dad to go I went with my dad after my friend dropped me off. I went with my dad and ran errands with him because yeah. We usually run something like, it's like, oh, I need you still for stuff. It's like, okay, I'll do some stuff. So when I got home, I'm just like, at 5, I'm just like, I am so sleepy. Wow, that's actually a skate park. What? That's a thing? There's people. Okay, I can't see where I'm going. Like, I got tired, and then after I ate, and then took a little bit of nap, I realized I am very groggy when I woke up from my nap. So I'm just like, I didn't bother to stream that Monday. I actually even put in a tweet out, it's like, hey, I might stream, I'm here. But then after that, I woke up from my nap. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna stream. Just too tired. And I felt like that for my Monday, my Tuesday, even on the short days. Like, I still had other things to do with parents, which made me I didn't get home till like 5 both days. So I felt like I worked a full day, even though I actually worked. Realistically, I only worked for like half for 4 hours and 8 hours, but I ended up doing a lot of things outside of work that made me tired. And I'm so used to just being at home doing only a few things with parents, and then managed to stream and all that stuff. Now it's just like, I've been out of the house for a while, and I'm already tired when I get back home. Oh crap. It really is like an oh crap moment. But